96.3 WHUR, old school 90s. And now she is on the phone, Nina. I'm super excited. We talked about it all day. Mahalia is on. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you guys?
We are fantastic. Thank you
And you
so
look
much.
and amazing. You look beautiful, by the way. I know you
Thank
just, yeah, you do. You look really beautiful.
you.
Yes,
So do you. Thank you, guys.
100%. And let us say real quick, super congratulations. I mean, I
Thank
just
you.
think I am so excited not only about what you have going on now, but your future. Man, like you've been grinding since you were really young. Tell everybody.
Yeah, God. I'm 22 now. I turned 22 during lockdown here. And I've been kind of around writing, playing music since I was about 11. So I've kind of been, I guess I kind of really went into the industry when I was about 13, and I've just been basically grinding and writing and just doing as much as I can since then to to push myself forward.
Wow. And for
Yeah,
everybody that don't know, you're in England now?
I am in England now. I'm in London
Right.
now.
Right. And so your mom is Jamaican?
Yeah.
Wow. So interesting enough, my wife is Jamaican and
Oh wow.
her family is in England. So I totally get it. And when
Yeah.
I went, I was like, man, okay, this is really hot. Like I love it. So I do
Totally.
understand.
Yeah. No. And like here, it's really interesting because my grandparents moved back to Jamaica about 30 years ago, but there's still like that. Like you can see, even in like particularly in London, you can see how much Jamaican culture has just completely taken over, and it's in everything that we see and everything we eat and everything we do. So especially in London, you really feel that here.
Mhm. Mhm. So Nina told me, and I can let Nina handle this part. She says your writing is so female oriented, like it really touches the soul of women.
I love that.
So I have to admit, when I was doing my research on you, I just went down a complete rabbit hole
Yeah.
because I was so into it. I was like, oh my God, she's amazing. Um, Everything is so soulful, yet it's still like youthful.
Yeah.
And listening to some of your old music, I was listening to I Wish I Missed My Ex.
Yeah.
Like I needed that song in my life a few years ago because I promise you that would have gotten me through my entire breakup. Just
Oh,
just the sass of like, you know what? Like, I wish I missed you. Like, I was like, she is such a girl's girl. Are you
yes. Oh my
truly?
God.
Are
Yeah.
you truly a girl's girl? Is that does that just come through in your music?
No, I totally am. I think, do you know, I think if I was being honest, I think when I was in school, I found it so hard to like really find girls that I really connected with and I loved as much as they loved me. And I always struggled with girls in school. And so when I got to I guess when I got to being an adult, so maybe around 18, 19, it was really important for me to kind of keep that female voice pumping just because I'd never had women around me all the time, bringing me up, supporting me, and telling me to get over that guy or telling me to not go with that guy. And so when I got to kind of being conscious, it was really important to me that I became that woman to girls who also didn't have that. And
Mm.
and so yeah, so it definitely is a conscious decision for me to kind of always be giving the female perspective, but then at the same time, never being a man hater, I guess, because I love boys and
Exactly.
I've got three amazing brothers and a really amazing dad. So it was always difficult for me to kind of keep that conversation uh balanced at all
Valid.
times. Yeah.
Sure. And then you got the song with LMA, What You Did. That's such a banger. We absolutely love that song. But you wrote that. You said it was an experience that happened when you were 17.
Yeah, like when I went through that story, I was in school, so it was my last year of school and I was 17. And I remember, I guess I never in my life thought that I'd be cheated on, but then being cheated on and then it happening so young, and it was my first experience, it was just really painful. So I think at the time writing about it was never going to happen because it was the emotion was too heavy. So then when I came to writing What You Did, for me, it felt like a therapy session, because I was getting out all of this emotion that I'd never really spoken about or I'd never written about before. So yeah, it was a process for sure.
Wow.
Man, that, you know, I look at it, Nina, and I'm saying it's one thing to go through it. It's
Yeah.
one thing to hurt, but it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
another thing to articulate it into a
Yeah.
song. That is beautifully done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you know, I watched or I read the Essence article you did, or the Essence interview, and you were talking
Yeah.
about how you had to deal with your mental health, but many of the things that got you through those mental health challenges, like you were no longer able to do due to COVID. How did you handle that with, you know, the isolation of COVID, when you talked about how connecting with your fans and performing was always like your therapy?
I didn't cope.
Wow.
I didn't. No, I totally didn't cope. I mean, it's actually, that's why I said at the beginning, you know, it's so nice to be back online talking to you guys and kind of being here, because COVID for me, I don't really know what happened to me mentally and kind of emotionally. And I'm going through that and I'm dealing with that now, and I'm kind of having those conversations. But I just shut down, because, you know, it was a real loss, and it felt like a loss of a real big piece of my heart. And so I guess through lockdown and through COVID and through writing again and kind of doing this job in this way, I found a new love for it, and I found a love for it through a screen, and I found a love for it through Instagram lives and through still connecting with my fans, but just having to relearn how to do it. So it was hard, and like, yeah, I think I have to be 100% honest and say that I didn't really cope well.
Wow.
But then at the same time, I'm now at the end of the tunnel, and I'm coming out, and there's light, and I can see everything, and I know what I want to do next. But it was hard, and I know that it was hard for everybody, because I think everybody took a real major hit to our souls. You know, I think that was the thing for me, when it was that it wasn't about money, and it wasn't about flying everywhere or going to amazing places. It was just really about the feeling that I felt in my soul and my heart from losing all of that, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I can truly relate to that. So let me ask you a question real quick, because, and I should have asked this earlier. One of the things that I learned so much about going over to the UK was their love for American soul music. And it did
Yeah.
not matter what bar or what I went to, they were playing like older music, like the classics that we don't even play here
Yeah.
in the US in a bar, in a club, you know? And
Yeah.
I felt like this, like, appreciation that I haven't felt even here for
Yeah.
that older music. And then you come along and you got this great voice, your writing is impeccable, and then you call yourself Mahalia, like,
Yeah.
which is unbelievable. Why did you pick that name?
Well, so so I have to really give that to my mum, because
Right.
everybody always asks me, is Mahalia my real name, because I'm a singer, and I always say, yeah, no, it is. When I was my mum's really good friend, her daughter was called Mahalia, and she was named after Mahalia Jackson. And when I was a kid, I grew up listening to all of Mahalia Jackson's records, knowing all the songs, my
Wow.
mum talking about her all the time. And so me being named Mahalia didn't make sense until I knew Mahalia Jackson. And then it's really funny, kind of now being a singer and now going through life and always speaking about her, and actually realizing, God, you know, it is crazy. It's crazy that, like, I was named after this woman who is this incredible soul gospel singer, and now I'm here trying to pave my own way as another Mahalia. So it feels special, but it also feels like, I think ever since I was a kid, even just walking through my life with that name, I always felt like I had to do it, because I knew
Wow.
that I wanted to, and it felt like that was my path, and my mum gave me that name for a reason, and I was going to follow in her footsteps. And so, yeah, it's always felt really special being called Mahalia.
Amazing, amazing. So what's next for Mahalia?
So right now I am back writing, which again, Nina, is a massive part of why I think I'm coping better. I'm back writing, I'm back with the producers, I'm back with my musicians. And I think for me, you know, I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing right now. I think for me, I don't want to take any breaks. I just want to keep moving and keep making music and kind of keep, you know, gathering stories and then laying them down on a piece of paper. And so I think for me, next maybe is music and hopefully album 2. I don't know where everything stands with live, so I can't even say anything. And I wish I could, but hopefully, I guess it'd be nice to come back to the States next year. I know that it's pretty much off the cards this year, but it'd be nice to get back out there because I spent so much of my time last year there. Okay. So I definitely feel a bit disconnected right now. But yeah, for me right now, it's just about music and just about gathering my thoughts again and just laying them all down.
Amen. Nina Brown, any last words?
I mean, let me just say again, I mean, your writing, I'm a writer, but I could never turn it into music. But when I read the lyrics to your music, like it just connects. Like you are such an amazing writer, and I understand why you've been so successful as an artist. And I just wish you nothing but the best. I want to ask you this one last question. What would the 22-year-old Mahalia tell the 17-year-old Mahalia?
I think I would tell her to stop worrying about everything. Yeah, I've like in my ripe old age of 22, I think I've finally realized that once I stopped worrying, things really just made sense. And I think, yeah, I would just tell myself just not to worry and to also not be so conscious of what everybody else thinks, because I think when I lost that, I was able to just say what I wanted to say, look how I wanted to look, and sing whatever I wanted to sing. Amen. So yeah, that's what I'd say.
I look forward to the day we can have you in studio so I can give you the biggest hug. You are an amazing woman. You really are, and we're so proud of you.
Thank you guys, and thank you so much for having me today. It means a lot, honestly.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Mahalia, 96.3 WHUR, The Frank Ski Show. Thank you, dear.
Thank you, guys.
See ya. Be safe.
You too.
Thank you.